Good morning, fellow Paivicans. It's your favorite camper services coordinator, Tina, here to let you know that we are so happy that you're all joining us this summer for our Camp Paivika at Home virtual camp. The video that you're going to be seeing after this message is going to give you some guidance on how best to use Zoom. We're calling it Zoom 101. So hopefully this will help you as you move along with any questions or concerns you may have. So don't lollygag. You've got your marching orders. Watch this video. And if you need further assistance, I'm here to help you all summer long. And we also have Ben, our technical assistant, who will help you during or before the activities in case you need some assistance. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, hello, and welcome to Camp Paivika at Home 101, everything you need to know to make camp at home easier for you and your camper. My name is Nate. I'm part of the Camp Paivika at Home team. I was a counselor in 2018 and 2019, and yeah, I'm happy to be here, and happy to have you here with me as we walk through these things. So, let's get started. Alright, step one, consent and agreement. So the first thing that you're going to need to do in order to participate, and I know most of you have already done this, but if you haven't already, you need to email your consent and agreement form to camppaivika@abilityfirst.org. Until you do this, until you complete step one, your camper will not be able to participate in any of the Zoom activities. So make sure you have that done. Step one. Alright, step two, joining and navigating the Facebook group. So the way we have it set up, all of our main way of conveying information to campers and Zoom links and all that is going to be through Facebook. So, oops, go back. So what I'm going to do is just kind of walk through what that looks like. Alright, so here I've opened up Facebook. This is my Facebook page. Yada yada yada. So what you're going to do, if you haven't already, I know most of you have, but go to Camp Paivika at Home. My internet's being slow. Search for Camp Paivika. Okay, yeah. Here we go. And it's this green one, Camp Paivika at Home. Different from Camp Paivika. Loading, loading, loading. Okay, and this is the home page. There's a lot of things going on. You can read a lot of people having fun today, doing yoga. But the most important thing on this page is going to be up here under the tabs, the Events tab. That's where you're going to find your RSVPs for any activity. So I'm going to go over to click Events. Here we go. So here we have all of our upcoming events, and for some reason they're not always, well, I think they are. Sometimes they're not always in like perfect order, but it seems like they are right now. So basically all you need to do in order to get that Zoom invite, that Zoom link, is to mark that you're going. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit going and going. And there's something I wanted to say here. Yes, they're going to be posted, the events are going to be posted weekly, so beginning of the week. And I think the easiest way to do it would just be to have you and your camper go on at the beginning of the week and look at the activities and mark which ones you're going to. That way you don't really have to worry about doing it every day, because it could be a little bit of a hassle to have to do this, because the other thing is that we need you to sign up by 3 p.m. the day before. So let's see, yeah, it's 12:30 now where I am, so I just barely a few hours more and I wouldn't get that invite because I was too late. So just because for security reasons and just in terms of workflow, we just need to have those in by 3 p.m. the day before. Yes, and that's about it. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you here, is that if this schedule is confusing or it's out of order, if you go over to Files, so sorry, we were in Events, if you go over to Files at the top here, you'll see different files that we have posted. So this was week 1's calendar, but for this week, week 2, loading, it's going to have a PDF. You can open that up by clicking on it. Strange. Okay, here it goes. So it's opening it on the computer for me automatically, but you might have to go through a few more steps. But basically, this has the schedule for the week. So coming up, we still have Would You Rather, Mad Libs, and Bingo on Saturday. Anyways, I'm going to close out of that. Navigate back to the Facebook page. Yeah, so that's about it for the Facebook page. Always, you can feel free to go to the home. No, it's about discussion. That's what I want. Over to discussion. And you can have fun posting things here. But it probably won't be the easiest way to access that information. The best way to do that would be to go over to events or files. Alright, okay, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. Alright, cool. So we went over that. Troubleshooting. So if you think you should have gotten a Zoom invite, but you did not, here's a list of things you should do, probably in order of priority. First thing you should do is check your junk or spam folder. You're probably getting a lot of emails from us, so it's possible that your email service might think it's junk. Before you even do that, you should probably make sure your consent form is submitted, because again, even if you marked RSVP but your consent form is not submitted, we cannot send you that invite. Third thing you should do is make sure you're checking the email address that we have on file in our active system. So if you're not checking that email, you probably won't be finding that invite. So and then finally, you should make sure that your email inactive is correct, because well, then obviously you wouldn't be getting it. So yeah. Okay, troubleshooting with Zoom invites. Other possible issues. One, maybe it's possible that we were unable to connect your Facebook profile name, so the Facebook account that you used to RSVP, with the camper's name in our active system, which is where we pull the email addresses from. So it's possible that we weren't able to make that connection because it wasn't clear, in which case I think it would be best to contact us directly through email to kind of clear that up. We can figure that out piece by piece, but that's a possibility. Another possibility, as mentioned before, is that you didn't mark going on the Facebook event activity before 3 p.m. on the, that should say afternoon of the activity. Afternoon before the activity, I should say. Okay, Zoom meetings, step 3. So, as mentioned before, well, actually I haven't mentioned this before. So campers will only be admitted into the activities during the time frames listed. Pretty straightforward, but so we've had some campers trying to get in, but outside of that time, but just know that they won't be admitted. Yes, if the host mutes your camper, they should not unmute themselves unless asked to do so. So I'll walk through that with you in a bit once we get into real Zoom, but just for now, that's it. And then this is something we were talking about after our first week. Ideally, we'd like your camper to be in a quiet place in your house, just so that when they are unmuted, that there's not too much background noise. But we understand that that's not always possible. So just if you can do your best to get your camper in a quiet place, we'd appreciate it. Finally, yes, please on that same note, make sure that your camper and the others in the background are fully clothed at all times. So pretty straightforward, but just no bathing suits, sports bras, or bare chests. Yeah, and remember that when your camper's on Zoom, we can see in the background, so everyone can see. All right, just to briefly go over our behavior policy. I know you've probably heard this since we've gone over it during every activity, but campers should use kindness in all their interactions, whether that's comments, chat conversations, and Facebook posts. The first time there's an issue, Kelly, the camp director, will call and speak to your camper and you, parent or guardian. And the second time that happens, the camper will be removed from participating in future activities and or removed from the Facebook group. If your camper is removed from an activity during the activity, it was because there was something happening that one of our staff or volunteers heard and deemed inappropriate. After the activity has ended, Kelly or Lauren will be notified and will call the family of the camper to discuss so that we can explain what happened and talk about steps moving forward. Okay, Zoom meeting specifics. Please edit the screen name to match the camper name. It would make it a lot easier on us running the activities if we did this, just so that we can make sure participation happens and so that we're calling campers by their names, which is important. So please, and there's a lot of animation there. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to change your Zoom name. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go over to Zoom, and I'm going to join a meeting that I already have going on my phone. So you'll just click a link, but I'm typing in a Zoom number right now. Okay. Okay, this is me. Hello. I'm gonna go to gallery view because I should say that. There's 2 different views in Zoom. There's speaker view. That's me in Stonehenge. But that highlights only one person, whoever is speaking at the time, and right now it's highlighted on my phone who's logged in because they're the host. There's also this thing called gallery view, and that allows you to see a lot of faces at the same time. There's kind of trade-offs to it. I think speaker view is good because that way whoever's speaking will have the emphasis on them. But if your camper wants to, gallery view is also good because you get to see a lot of faces at the same time. Okay, so I was going to show you how to rename yourself. So this is me here, Nate Ross, Camp Paivika. So if you want to, there's one way to rename yourself, and this way, it only works for every meeting that you join. So once I leave this meeting here, it's going to completely disappear. So it's not the ideal. Oh, I just got kicked out. This will happen, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're back. So as I was saying, it's not the ideal way to do it, but if you haven't got around to the second way to doing it yet, this will work in a pinch. So all this is you go over to your little 3 dots and you hit rename, and then I'll just name myself Camper. And then there I go. I am now Camper. So that's one way to do it. Excuse me. But ideally, you wouldn't be having to rename your camper every time you log in. That's kind of a hassle for you, especially if your camper is able to log in themselves. It'd be easier if they didn't have to do that. So another way that you could do it is if I leave this meeting and I go to Zoom. It's up to you. This would be easier to do this way, is to change the name of your profile. And so if whoever's profile is logging into the Zoom, the camper is using to log into the Zoom meetings. So even if you use your Zoom for work, the same one that they use for going to camp, it'd be easier for you probably to change your name as you go into meetings than it would be. It'd be easier for you to change your name than it would be for them to change their name every time. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to get settings. No, not settings. I want to go to profile. My profile. That's what I want to do. And that'll take me up to, it'll open it up Zoom in your web browser. And then what you can do here is edit your name. So let's say I want it just to be Camper again. So I'm going to delete that and have just my first name Camper. And then I'm going to make sure to save changes here. So now my name is just Camper. So if I go back to that Zoom meeting, that's the same one. Yep, same number. If I go back to that Zoom meeting, my name, a little slow. My name is now Camper. And it wouldn't be that way if I'd logged out. I guess I could have showed you that, but I guess not. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to show you in terms of naming. The other thing that we wanted me to talk about was just kind of basics of how muting and unmuting works. So you'll see in the bottom left here that you have this mute button. I'm sure most of you probably figure this out, but if you hit unmute, oh, there's a little feedback loop going because I'm using my own devices right next to me. But if you hit unmute there, then your camper will be able to speak. But most of the time, what we're going to do is have have your camper be muted by the host, and so they won't be able to unmute themselves mostly. And so what will happen is, I'm about to demonstrate right now. So I'm gonna, as the host on my phone, I'm going to invite myself here to unmute. Oh, wrong one. I'm going to go ask to unmute. Here we go. And so this little dialog box will pop up that says the host would like to unmute you. And then at that point, you'll have to then hit mute. I'm going to mute myself again. Ideally, we'd be able to just manually unmute campers as hosts, but that's a privacy issue. So unfortunately, that's the way it has to work. There will be some times where campers will be able to unmute themselves and mute themselves, in which case we just ask that they are muting themselves when they're done speaking, but that won't be as frequent. Okay. Anything else I want to talk about muting and unmuting? I don't think so. All right. Okay, turns out there was something I wanted to mention that I forgot about Zoom. If you're having trouble with Zoom at any point, but especially during an activity, we'd like you to contact Ben Kim at ykim@abilityfirst.org or through Facebook. Ben is on staff with us, and he is our Zoom point person. And he's very, very good and very handy and can pretty much solve most problems with Zoom. So rather than going through the Camp Paivika page or to Tina, we'd prefer that you, if you're having trouble with Zoom itself, that you go to Ben first, because Ben is our point person. So just wanted to add that in there. This is after the fact. That step 5, the YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you kind of briefly how the YouTube channel works. So I already looked up YouTube. It's a little weird. Go over to YouTube, and you're going to want to sign into an account. Whatever account you have, it'd be if your camper has an account, that would be great, because that way the subscriptions will, once you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it'll notify them. So I was going to walk through that. Unfortunately, my internet is being quite slow, so maybe I'll edit this out. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to log into my account here. I have my password saved, but you might have to enter your password. Okay, cool. So this is my homepage full of random things that YouTube has given to me for no reason. And then I'm going to look up Camp Paivika, if you haven't already done this. And there's 2 different channels. The one you want is Camp Paivika, not Ability First Camp Paivika. So this is Camp Paivika right here is the one that's going to have all the videos. As you can see, here's Kelly, and then there's me and Brooke doing our sing-along. And then you can click there, and if you haven't already subscribed, there will be a red box here that says subscribe. And if you click that, you'll be subscribed, and it'll turn into this gray box that I have here because I'm already subscribed. So that's the YouTube channel, and here you can find all the videos that we've uploaded so far. Looks like a lot of you have already seen Bree's tissue paper crafts. It was a lot of fun. Bree's super engaging. So there's one other thing I want to show you, and that is in terms of notifications. If you would like to receive a notification every time we upload something to your email, which could be useful to you or maybe to your camper if they're using that kind of thing. What you're going to want to do is go over to sorry, I'm getting emails on my where is it? Oh, settings. That's what you want. Settings, and then over on the left here, you want to go to notifications, and then your preferences might be different than mine. I think this is sort of the auto thing. I don't think I've ever changed my settings before. You want to make sure this is hit blue, subscriptions, notify me about activity from the channels I'm subscribed to. But I think the most important one for the email would be down here under email notifications. First you need this, I think. And then right here, your preferences, subscriptions. Notify me through email about the activity from the channels I'm subscribed to. So if you click that, now you're probably going to get an email every time we upload something. And that could be too much if their account is subscribed to a lot of other things, but it could be useful to you. So I wanted to show you. Okay, I think that's about it. Last thing I wanted to show you was this. Lauren made this, so it's a little checklist just to wrap up. Make sure make sure that you've completed your consent agreement form. Make sure you've joined the Camp Paivika at Home private Facebook group, and make sure that you have clicked going on the activities you want to participate in, and then of course subscribe to the channel. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope this was helpful in some way. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was. Yeah, I hope you find this to be a useful resource. So, thank you, and have a good rest of your day.